Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to touch on from the series that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. This is designed more for beginner runners and to maybe up to intermediate runners, but more a beginner runner of just different shoes for different sessions. Today I'm going to touch on speed tempo type shoes. So the two shoes that I have is one that's been released not too long ago, obviously, is the Evo SL, which is designed for a daily trainer, but you can use it for the speed session as well. And the other one is a carbon shoe, which is the Puma DV8 Nitro 2. Okay, I'll quickly go through the specs on both shoes. You pretty much know both of them anyway, so I'll quickly go through it. Obviously, with the Evo SL, we've got 38 in the heel to 32 at the forefoot. That's a 6mm drop. It's the Race Foam Light Strike Pro. We've got running through the midsole. The upper's an engineered mesh, really breathable, which is really nice. The tongue, not gusseted, very flimsy, very. It's designed to be lightweight. There's not a lot to it. It doesn't really lock down very well. Look, you've just got to cinch it and you can get a lockdown. The heel counter's pretty sturdy, obviously, pretty strong. The heel counter, I have noticed around through the ankle collar, it's not the greatest. Laces, as I've touched on before, aren't very good. They're okay, they're not great. Coming to the outsole, we've got the Conti on the front, and then we've got the Adidas on the rear. These ones here, I was pretty lucky when I first got these that I got two pairs. You've seen my other pair, which are pretty trashed. I haven't used these ones yet. I'm going to save these ones just in case they go down the same path as my others. I'll start using these when the other ones are worn out. So that's basically the specs on this one. Then we run into this one here. I've had this shoe for probably about 12, 18 months now. I know the new version's been out for a while as well. Look, I'm not a big carbon fan. I used to run in carbon a lot, but since then I've probably stopped a little bit, not as much. I'll run through the specs as well here on this one here. It's 38 in the heel, 32 in the front with another 6mm drop. The upper is an engineered mesh. To be honest, it's not that breathable. It's not the best. The tongue is pretty flimsy. It's stitched in at the side, so it doesn't move a great deal. Really nice laces on this one here. Heel counter, pretty sturdy as well. With the midsole, you've got two types here. You've got the Nitro Elite, which is their current race foam running through the top layer there, and then on the bottom you've got it's an EVA, it's a nitro foam infused, and it's more again for stability and a bit of durability. And then through the middle, through both there is you've got their carbon plate as well there for the toe off propulsion. It's definitely rocketed this one here as well. Yeah, so that's probably the specs for both of them. I'm gonna just sort of touch on, look, the last thing I suppose on both is the weight. The weight on this one here it's not light. I'm a US 11.5 and the weight was 290 grams in this. I don't know what the cost was when I initially bought it. You can now pick them up for about $140 to $150. So it's a pretty good price for the twos, obviously because it's the threes. I believe Puma sell their threes for $250. So look, there is a couple of changes in the two to the threes. Is that a warrant enough to then spend another $100? I don't think so. I'd look around. If you want something like this, just buy the older version, definitely. With the Adidas, still not very readily available. I know the price is $240. It said US 11.5. The weight on mine is about 270 grams, so it's pretty light. So what do I use both of these shoes for? Look, this one here, it is designed from Adidas, they say, to be a daily trainer. I personally didn't get on with it as a daily trainer. I use it pretty much for my up-tempo speed session days. For me, with the rocker on this one here, it's a bit aggressive for me and it gives me a lot of calf soreness, but as far as a speed shoe go and a tempo shoe, it's fantastic. It can pick the pace up very easily and it can hold it as well. The Light Strike Pro, as I've spoken about before, it's a fantastic formulation. Lots of rebound and energy from that, so it's a really good speed shoe. You can use it as a daily trainer. As I said, I feel that as a daily, probably at about 15 kilometres gets a little bit uncomfortable. They say you can take it up to sort of 20. You know, I've heard that people have run marathons in this. I wouldn't run a marathon. Would I do a half? Yeah, look, I possibly would do a half in this. I've got a half coming up in a couple of weeks and I might even use this fresh pair for a half. I'll see how I go. In this one here, look, for people that probably haven't worn carbon before, it's probably a good one to get into if you want to try the carbon out. It's a very responsive sort of ride. The nitro foam with the Elite, it's got a bit of pop to it, and it really, with the plate sandwiched in the middle, it really wants to push you onto your toes. I have found with this one here that due to the weight, it is a little bit heavy. And as far as it, you wouldn't race in this. I think you would definitely train in this, but you wouldn't want to race in it. It's too heavy for a racing shoe. Even over the shorter distances, I think probably a little bit heavy as well. Look, I've done 5K, 10Ks in this at reasonable speeds. I'm not sure if it holds it that well. It's okay, but it's more of a session type shoe with the Puma grip. I think on these ones I've got about 350 kilometres on these. I don't wear them very often anymore, probably due to I don't wear carbon a great deal, and I did found it a bit heavy. So you've got the Puma grip on the outsole, look, and to be honest, after 350 kilometres, there is absolutely no wear whatsoever. The midsole still has a huge amount of pop. So I suspect if you wanted to, you could wear this 800 to 1,000 kilometres and get really good bang for your buck. Would I wear it as a daily? You know what, you possibly could. The carbon plate in there is not that aggressive, so it's not too bad. This is a do-it-all shoe. You could use it as a speed shoe, but also you could use it as a bit of a daily. I think you could run from 5Ks, and I believe you could probably, I've taken this long as well, I'll probably run 25 to 30 kilometres as well, in this as well. No problems whatsoever. So you could use it as a long run shoe as well. Whereas personally for this one here, for me, 15Ks, 15 and 20Ks, I've taken it to half marathon, but that'd be enough for me. It's a bit too aggressive with the rocker for me. I certainly wouldn't take it on long runs compared to this one here. The durability for me on this one here is a bit questionable with the outsole, but yeah, so that's basically it. So look, if being a new runner, if you want something that packs a punch, is fun, if it's available, which is another thing, and you don't want a carbon plate, go the Evo SL. It is fun. I'm not denying that it is fun, and I do like the shoe a lot. It's not plated, which is good as well. I think probably people wear plates a little bit too much these days, and it can cause some issues with their feet. But if you're new to the market and you want to try something with a plate in it, this also is a bit of fun as well. It's a bit heavy, but it's a fun shoe, and you can use it for everything. And look, it's fairly cheap and accessible out there. Yeah, so there's just some different options for it: speed type shoe, tempo type shoe. So yeah, that's it. So if you like this video, please press the like button. Drop us a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the shoes that you're wearing for speed sessions, etc., and I'll definitely reply. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Thanks. Happy running.